Welcome to Two Guys.
A girl.
And an MBA.
You mentioned gold. I always find it fascinating the behavior of the business press and of uh, certain investors that I guess what you would think of as like a typical investor. You look at Yahoo Finance and, the third headline down for me today is how to invest in gold in 4 steps. And it's talking about what we were talking about earlier with gold is at all-time highs. And here's how, gold prices are notoriously volatile. And if you're tracking prices, here's how to get in and so forth. And I'm just like, it defies logic because when prices are high, you should be selling, right? But there's that FOMO, the fear of missing out, that, things go up, and if they're going up, they're always going to go up forever. And if things are going down because Trump announced tariffs, they're always going to go down and down forever. It's like in the same day this week, I got a margin call for a significant amount. I mean, I had already gotten a margin call, and that's when you're using so much of a loan from the bank to write your contracts that they're like, hey, this isn't safe. We need some extra cash in your account, and you got to get it in today or within a day or two. They called me and, sent me an email or whatever. You need the cash now. That happened once in the week. I got a second margin call in the week, and it was the day that he announced the tariffs. I woke up, the beginning of the trading day was a margin call for a significant amount. It was half of the previous margin call, but that was still a lot to move in a day. And I was like, okay, I get on the chat with the broker. How much is it? Da, 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 da. A few hours later, the position completely changed. Now I had margin buying power. So instead of me putting cash into the bank, now all of a sudden the bank was saying, actually, you can buy some more shares and contracts if you want, which is crazy. I didn't do it, but it's like, and I got on the chat to confirm it with the guy. So am I good now? Do I need to wire the money? And you're good. You're good. I said, okay, wow, what a ride.
Wow. Wow. I mean, it happened to you and you're an individual trader. Can you imagine the millions of traders out there
Yeah.
that they got to get that money in that account now?
And I'm not levered. Like I'm levered 1-to-1, which means all the positions I have, I can close out with cash. Some people are, levered 5, 10, 15-to-1. During the 2008 crash, I think some of the banks that folded, they were levered like 15, 16-to-1. So that means for every dollar in equity they got, they're loaning, they owe 16. And you can't move you can't move the money that fast. It's not there. It doesn't exist. You go under, you know.
That's why you only know your sins after you're in hell. Like you don't know. It could be you. You could have caused this, Yosef. You could have not made that margin call. Some guy in the office, like crap, he didn't make his margin call. Goes to his boss. His boss goes, "Oh my God, nobody's making their margin call." Then and it cascades from you. From you. You caused it, and the whole economic house of card collapses.
It's all my fault.
Please consider subscribing below.
Thank you for being with us. Please leave your comments, feedback, what you think about us, and see you in the next podcast. Bye.